Humans. Humans aren't fast. We aren't strong. We have been successful as a species because we are smart. We learn, we communicate, and impart our learning to others around us. Humans learn from the day they are born. Over the course of human developmental history, sound has become language, and this has allowed us to tell others around us what has happened and what we did. Oral traditions and folk tales are passed down around the campfires, so learning can be passed on through the generations for improved tribal security and survival. Language developed along with rock paintings and pictograms, and this enabled societies to teach their later generations for centuries to come. Eventually, written languages allowed information and skills to become mobile, so each generation can build on the previous knowledge without the teacher even being present. Over the last 100 years, though, we've moved from ink and quills to blackboards to laptops in only a few generations. With this has been an exponential growth in availability and delivery of information, education, and social equity. In the 21st century, we now find ourselves at a massive turning point. Education has been democratized for all instead of for just the privileged. We can continue the learning process without needing language, written words, or even sounds. ICT has freed us from the text-only books and enabled us to be around the globe instantly, simultaneously, and at call any time, visually and audially. Content is not about textbooks anymore. It's about content. We can engage thousands of learners directly or indirectly, instead of on one-on-one in small classes at prescribed times. Assistive technologies like speech output, screen readers for the visually impaired, visual storyboards for children with dyslexia and learning difficulties help to open up more educational possibilities for learners to connect with in multiple transformative ways. ICT allows space for learners to discover, record and collaborate at any time of the day without being in the same physical space. Access to visual Skype, WordPress blogs, RSS feeds, Facebook, and imagery has made it easier for students to engage, especially in project-based learning. Project-based learning environments can be crafted where students can discover a range of resources at their own pace, and then use these resources to grow a project and work towards a common goal. From the content I've discovered this semester, I've put together a constructivist project-based learning model of a virtual classroom, like the sort I would like to implement if I was teaching right now. We can see from the demonstration web portal at rwadset.wordpress.com that I've set up a space for shared resources that students can use to work individually and then as a group towards a curriculum goal. There are avenues to discover published works and reviewed facts, visualization goals that I'd like them to explore, links to other people's videos of challenges they've undertaken. There are spaces for forum Q&As and Ask Me Anything special meetings with specialists, blogs for observations and collaborations by the students, forms for recording their data, photos and observations of tasks and projects they've engaged in. I feel it's important to include access to the students' previous work to help the students follow the continuity of the curriculum as well as being able to build upon their previous data and previous learning. Modern platforms are making it simpler for the teacher to be more inclusive of technology in the classroom to benefit all learners without requiring a steep learning curve of programming and implementation that was needed only a few years ago. Hardware issues of classroom resources have been overcome with the growth of wireless mobile devices at a much lower price point than previous desktop and network solutions provided. Inclusive, accessible and cheap hardware has gone beyond the novelty of the classroom and is now ubiquitous and assumed to be in use by the modern digital native. Wireless capabilities, mobile hardware, programs optimized for mobile devices all mean that teaching is no longer tied to the classroom, tied to a desk or to a blackboard. Students and teachers can engage at any time from anywhere. They can check timetables, due dates and objectives from home. They can upload data and photos, videos and observations from the classroom, from a practical in the lab, or even out in the oval or in a field excursion. In my example, programs in use for the class are centralized on the class portal, such as science podcasts, Minecraft EDU, basics of motion for Minecraft, and links to other online educational resources and libraries. Scholarly databases can be accessed. Blogs, Flickr boards, Pinterest boards, photos and videos collaborative spaces are all easily located by the students and can be used as resources for fact gathering for their projects. Podcasts, TED Talks, Skyped videos with experts can all be uploaded and resourced for the class portal so they can be saved for later reference for regular discussions with the students. These platforms can actually be optimized for mobile usage, meaning the student doesn't need to use them on a large screen, and they can be checked on their mobiles or their tablet devices from anywhere they need to. We can now engage in qualitative learning for students in visual, oral and kinesthetic modes, allowing information to be aggregated in an accessible online environment. Project-based learning has been made more practical by providing better opportunities for students to gather quality data for their self-guided journeys through the curriculum, where students record and recall text, data and written forms from their studies, where they can store and access videos of tactile demonstrations undertaken by their class, where classes can use pictures for visual references and spatial relationships in their learning task solutions, where there are available recordings of spoken word lectures and verbal descriptions, and class groups can use social collaboration and discussion of these ideas from observations on their projects. Self-study students can still use their personal space for reflection whilst being encouraged to collaborate within their groups. ICT is a tool that will give better access to educational opportunities for all learning types, and it is one I intend to make an integral and integrated part of my classroom in the future.